Hi and welcome to the book reading Orgasmic Blueprint, chapter 4, reading number 2. The book Orgasmic Blueprint, as far as you can follow till here, is tools for individuals, couples and professionals for pleasure, desire and consent. So today is the reading about the languages of love. Let's dive into shadows, base, engagement zones, and apex. I am amazed by how many individuals mess up every new day with yesterday. It's a quote from Jerry Chapman. In 1992, Jerry Chapman published a book entitled The 5 Love Languages and How to Express Heartfelt Commitment to Your Mate. It points out that as unique individuals, we all have a preference love language with which we communicate. And when our significant others don't share the same language but communicate in their own, we might not understand or interpret it as love. This is when love gets lost in translation and miscommunication, not feeling appreciated, and resentment can happen. Of course, we might have a number of love languages, but or prefer to give and receive love in different ways. What are these 5 different love languages and how do they look in practice in relation to the Somatic Consent Engagement System? Find some examples below, which are by no means exhaustive. I'm sure you can think of more. A friend of mine actually found probably 9 love languages, but who knows? The first one, giving gifts. Giving gifts is decided in Chapman's book as one of the love languages, though within the Somatic Consent Engagement System, all ways of expressing love are regarded as such. The apex represents the interpersonal space of being a gift, where altruistic love happens, whether whatever the form. If giving is your thing, you'll probably notice that what people say they need. Gift giving really doesn't have to be elaborate or costly. It's about thoughtfulness and creativity. How do you feel when someone gives you a gift, and how would you be disappointed if nobody bothered to get you a birthday present? While some love receiving gifts, some might feel uneasy believing that the other is trying to buy their love or feel pressure to give back in return. The shadows. Which shadows are you aware of in yourself and others when it comes to gift giving? Do you ever order, arrange or organize without the other's consent? Anything else? Can you categorize your shadows: entitlement, oppressor, victim or pleaser? Expect or demand gifts from others? What would be entitlement? Give because you think you should? What would be pleasing or rescuing? Manipulate or exploit to receive a gift? Would be oppressing. Ever give to get? Pleasing. Take others' gift for granted? Entitlement. Pretend to like what others give when you really don't? The victim, pleasing or rescuing. Arrange a gift that requires others' time without asking them first, so pleasing, rescuing. Are you ever attached to what someone does with your gift? Entitlement. So the base of self-care within this languages of love. Do you gift yourself experiences or threats? This could include alone time, time with friends, a wellness day, a walk in nature, a material item, a holiday, a ticket to an event, a relaxation day, a meal in a restaurant, and any other gift to self that nourishes you or feel good. The engagement zones, permission and agreement lines. Can you make requests for the gift you'd like to receive? Do you offer or invite before you give? The apex, giving a gift or being a gift. Giving gifts altruistically without expectation of something in return. Noticing, remembering and giving what people say they need. Surprising your loved ones with thoughtful gifts you know they could do with. Creating things to give to others. Gifting things that reflects thoughtful consideration of someone's individual tastes. Giving to ease a burden on others. Giving to see someone's light. Again, giving to see someone light up in some way. Sometimes reading is harder than writing. The ultimate gift is to give oneself effortlessly to another, fully recognized and being the gift that you are in your essence. When you give this gift of self, you are a living invitation that allows others to fully be themselves too. This gift of self included letting others choose how to use the gift you give for their good, as you simultaneously take full responsibility and care of your limits. Words of affirmation. Do you like to hear sincere words of kindness and affection? Does hearing appreciations for who you are, your effort feels like retain to a garden? How do you feel when How do you feel when someone acknowledges their love in words to you? How do you feel if these words are absent? Shadows in the words of affirmation. Which shadows are you aware of in yourself and others when it comes to words of affirmation? Do you ever say nice things to the others while love you? God, this is a really hard day of reading. Do you ever say nice things to the others? God, this is a hard sentence. I'm feeling embarrassed. Great, go through it. Do you ever say nice things so the other will like or love you? Anything else? Can you categorize your shadows? Entitlement, oppressor, victim, pleaser. Expect or demand the words you would like to hear. Entitlement or oppressing. Shut down or blame when these words aren't said. Entitlement. Blame yourself for being unlovable if your loved ones don't express their affection in words. The victim. Give your love as unsolicited advice, oppressing. Find words of affirmation untrustworthy. How could anyone love me? The victim. Cut others off instead of listening because you think you know what they need to hear, oppressing. Not tend to express your love in words due to the fear of being rejected, the victim, pleaser, entitlement, or oppressing shadow. Say things you don't mean because you think you should, or you give yourself in an easy way out, pleasing. Avoid words of affirmation for fear of manipulation, entrapment, not being in control, oppressing. The base of self-care. How do you speak to yourself? Do you speak down or up to yourself? Remind yourself of the progress you have made. Congratulate yourself on a job well done. Thank yourself of acts of self-care. Forgive yourself for mistakes, misguided choice, or whatever went wrong in the past. Tell yourself how valuable and lovable you are. The engagement zones, permission and agreement lines. Can you ask for what you really need to hear? Make requests instead of demands. Set limits when you feel uncomfortable. Respect their limits of what they are willing to say. The apex, giving a gift or being a gift. Whispering love or loving words to your partner. Leaving little written notes for them to find. Sending messages of appreciation. Writing poems to your lover. Telling people what you appreciate about them. Saying that you are grateful for without expecting the same in return. Whenever I have the loop of self-judgments running in my mind, I ask my partner if she can tell me that it's totally fine to feel stupid, ridiculous, worthless, or however I feel at the time. Yes, she said, it's totally fine to feel that way. Then when I like to play with the dynamics a little, asking her to tell me that I'm stupid or ridiculous or worthless, she tells me. Then I ask her, can you tell me in a loving way that I'm also intelligent, creative, and have values? Voicing all this out loud helps me to integrate these feelings as it takes the emotional charge out of the loop. I know she's coming from a place of love and care and feel immediately released. The next love language is quality time. Do you have more presence from do you crave more presence from your loved ones, or get asked to be more present? And if the later is the case, what does that actually mean? Quality time is being together, paying attention to each other, noticing, sharing something meaningful, listening and communicating below the surface of small talk and presence. The shadows of quality time. Which shadows are you aware of in yourself and others when it comes to quality time? Do you ever avoid the request for deeper conversation without explaining why? Anything else? Can you categorize your shadows? Entitlement, oppressor, victim, or pleaser? Expect constant attention when with a friend or loved one. Entitlement. Arrange to meet someone when they watch TV or constantly check your phone. Entitlement. Say yes when you rather be alone or with others. The victim, pleaser, rescuer shadow. Nod your head when listening but are somewhere else entirely in your mind. The pleaser or enduring. Be with somebody to please them and can't wait to leave. The pleaser. The base of self-care. Do you give yourself the time you need to rest and rejuvenate? Have a day or an evening alone with yourself. Give yourself time to pursue an interest. Go on an adventure alone. Give yourself time to just be. The engagement zones, permission and agreement lines. Do you have ideas about how do you like to share quality time with your loved ones? Make requests for these desires. Ask for and agree on time you can spend together. Agree on a date, night, or set aside a specific time each week to connect. Set limits when you need to be alone or want to do something else. The apex, giving a gift or being a gift. Making food together with your loved ones, talking while preparing and eating. Sharing plans for the future. Spending time creating something together. Making love fully present and slowly. Looking into your lover's eyes as you touch, listening and noticing what's being said. So long before the 5 languages of love were written, when I was married and lived with my wife and children, we were pretty busy, as I'm sure you can imagine. Studying and working, kindergarten activities and other commitments took up a lot of time. Nevertheless, no matter how turbulent the week was, we had an agreement we stuck to. Once a week, we hired a babysitter so that we could spend at least 2 to 3 hours to just be and share these moments together, fully committed to being in loving connection. Acts of service as a love language. For some of us, action speaks louder than words. Acts of service are actions that ease the burden of responsibility. Acts such as cooking, shopping, cleaning, constructing, repairing, decorating, organizing, gardening, driving, or technical tasks such as sorting out computer problems. Do you feel cared for and supported when someone's action provide a concrete difference in your life? How do you feel when others ask you to show your love through acts of service? The shadow of this love language. Which shadow are you aware of in yourself and others when it comes to acts of service? Do you ever agree to help, then fail to fulfill the promise? Make an offer, then not provide it? Give to get back something in return, or anything else? Can you categorize your shadows? Entitlement, oppressor, victim, or pleaser? Presume or demand that your partner gives their time and energy this way. Entitlement. Expect certain acts such as cooking or daily activities. Entitlement. Do more than you have the energy or time for. Victim or pleaser, rescue or shadow. Do because you feel you should. Victim or pleaser. Resent lack of action without expressing your desires or needs. The victim. Sit back while your partner does it all. Entitlement. Or the lazy guy. The base of self-care. Do you say no when you don't want to? Act in service for your own self-care, whatever that might be. Give something a try to foster self-empowerment. The engagement zones, permission and agreement lines. Do you make requests to be supported in this way? Offer your service when you notice they are needed. Voice your limits when they come up. The apex, giving a gift or being a gift. Providing acts of service for the greater good without an agenda. Making a drink or running a bath for someone. Making breakfast in bed for a loved one. Repairing something you noticed was broken without being asked. Giving your partner time off while you do the course. Cooking for the special people in your life. A friend told me a great example of an act of service. She mentioned to her lover that she wished she had a place to put a cup of tea while taking a bath. He went outside, saw a plank of wood, came back and placed it over the bathtub. Physical touch as a love language. That's probably my one, and of most people I know who have the gifts in their hand. Touch, as we already begun to explore in depth, can be the most effective way to give your love because it calms, heals, and reassures at a neurological level. Need something from my elbow here, some self-love, self-care. Do you enjoy hand-holding, hugs, and caresses? Do you like it or recoil when touched during a conversation with your lover, a friend, an acquaintance, a stranger? Are you in your element when you offer a massage? Do you only like to be touched by certain people? Those who love to give and receive touch thrive when the direct root is nourished. The shadows of physical touch. Which shadows are you aware of in yourself and others when it comes to touch? Do you ever expect someone to want to be touched in a certain way because they have been willing to in the past, or anything else? Can you categorize your shadows? Entitlement, oppressor, victim, or pleaser shadow? Expect your lover to meet your physical needs without an agreement. Oppressor or entitlement shadow. Take without permission. Oppressor or entitlement. Manipulate by giving to get. How? Oppressor, entitlement. Allow touch that feels mediocre, uncomfortable, or painful. Victim or pleaser. Say yes to touch or intercourse when it's really a no. Victim or pleaser. Touch or perform sexual acts because you think you should. Victim or pleaser shadow. Feel entitled to touch whoever you like. Entitlement or oppressor shadow. Expect others to want to be hugged. Shake your hands to be touched without asking. Entitlement or oppressor shadow. Ask but immediately go ahead before hearing a clear yes. Entitlement and oppressor shadow. So the base of self-care. Do you give yourself direct pleasure through your sensory inflow? Touch and explore objects around you. Feel the ground under your bare feet. Touch the texture of nature. Run your fingers over wood, stone, and sand. Hug a tree or cuddle a pet. Explore your own body and find the sweet spots. Gift yourself a self-massage. The engagement zones, permission and agreement lines. Do you make requests for specific touch for you? Do you offer specific touch for others? Can you say no to touch that you don't want? Do you make requests for specific touch you want to do? Do you offer specific touch for them? Can you set your limits to touch that you don't want to have done to you? Can you put yourself aside for their desires? Do you ask for the exact touch you need right now? The apex. Giving a gift or being a gift. Do you offer touch such as a massage without an agenda? Touch loved ones to reassure them. Squeeze a friend's arm, shoulder or hand if they are upset. Invite your partner to follow their desires. Give your power as a gift to play, wrestle with someone and let them win. Touch, I'm sure you're not surprised to hear, is my primary love language, along with quality time. I once had a partner whose primary love language were giving a gift and acts of service. It was somewhat of a mismatch. My need for physical connection was not fully met, and so I filled up my cup by touching for myself with her permission. But because her language was not touch, I missed out on being touched by her. So, what's your love language? To feel really loved and connected, some people are more sensitive to gifts and actions, some to physical touch, others to time spent together, while some respond to encouraging, affirming words. You might find that a combination of two or more appeals in your personality. So whatever your preferred love language is, the Somatic Consent Engagement System guides you to ask for exactly what you want, to make requests, offers, and invitations so that it's a win-win for all involved. When the difference between giving and receiving is clear through neurological embodying the difference, it also becomes clear how we want to receive and how we want to give. So when we make sure we fill our own cup through self-care and our partner does the same, we are able to do everything within our limits. So whether your love language is time, service, touch, gifts, or words, all 5 can be accessed, expressed, and experienced through practicing the 3-minute game and the dynamics of the Somatic Consent Engagement System. Here we all are able to experience love as it feels natural to us at the apex. And this is where play, laughter, creativity, and lovemaking happens. For further reading, I recommend a book called Ritual Play by Marina Cronquist, which provides creative transformational ways to engage in the apex through the art of play. All right, thank you for listening. That were the 5 love languages in relationship to the Somatic Consent Engagement System. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. If you have any comments or questions, please post them in the section below. I will personally respond to them, even though if the sound is not working or anything else you would like to have different, that really helps me to make it better in the reading. If you read the book or you would like to read the book for yourself, you will get it on Amazon as a hard copy or a paperback, and you can as well download the PDF or EPUB on my webpage. There's a 50% offer at the moment. Please take advantage of that if you want. Thank you so much for being here today. Looking forward to welcome you to the next reading tomorrow, what is about the low and high drama. And love to see you there. All right. Love yourself. Enjoy your day. Bye.